Is that how okay.
No. All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Build the Culture. Yeah, we said something really funny before we started recording, but I am Seth Harrison, and this is my partner, Thomas Hardy.
And we're here to kill construction with kindness.
He had to write it down.
Not kill kindness with... Yes, I literally wrote it down. So I would not forget, because last time I forgot, and I said it backwards because I'm dyslexic, and you know how that goes. So this is going to be a fun one today, because it is 6:15 in the morning. I've been here for about an hour. Seth just rolled in the door and started. No energy drink, no coffee, no nothing. So you're going to get pure Seth, and you're going to get hyped up Thomas this morning. So let's see how this goes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We did tease a part 2 last time.
Yes, we did.
And I was in the moment. We were just rolling. We were going. And I was like, yeah, let's do a part 2 on this. So here we are doing part 2. Let's see how this goes today. So y'all are actually going to get 2 episodes, maybe back to back. Maybe not.
So I think
maybe a couple days apart.
Well, no, I mean, so
by the time this is out, they'll know what it is because we'll have already released it.
We're going to stick to our schedule.
Why I'm teasing this again?
I don't know why you are either, because we're going to stick to our schedule.
I've had too much caffeine this morning, man.
We have a bi-weekly schedule.
I'm ready to go. We go for part 3. Let's go for part 3 already. Let's not do that. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm going to stop you there.
This is too much.
Yeah. All right.
I like these early morning ones. Let's keep doing this.
There's going to be no part 3.
No, definitely no part 3.
Oh, who knows? There might be.
For those who are excited about it.
Not going to tease a part 3.
If you want a part 3, comment.
There could be a part 3 like later down the road. You know?
Yeah.
As long as our podcast stays semi-successful and there's a want or need, we may have a part 3 down the road.
Maybe like 6 or 7 months down the road. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. All right. So getting back into it. So kind of recap of what we talked about. Right?
Yeah. Do you want to do the recap?
No, you recap. You need to wake up a little bit. You recap.
Yeah, I do. I need to get my brain juices going.
Brain juices.
Shoot, what did we even talk about? We talked about so we're really talking about. So we're calling these couple episodes the 6 Ps, part 1 and part 2. What do
the 6 Ps stand for?
I don't know. You tell me.
For those who don't know,
you tell me.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, my brain's not working right now.
Okay. It is proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yes. So those are the 6 Ps. Everybody typically sees the 5 Ps. Added an extra P. So anyways, which is piss. But anyway, so we're calling them the 6 Ps. In our part 1 episode, we talked about a situation that a general contractor had where they have a contract with a hospital where they are using their field staff to be part of an emergency services situation for this hospital. And apparently this crap happens a lot. One, trying to fix that. What would you do in those situations? How would you help fix it? You're already in the situation. There's not really going to be a backing out until the contract's up. So there's that. And then 2, we were talking about, just trying to give your superintendents plenty of time to get set up for a project, have time to plan. So,
which is hard. When you get a project when you get told you're on a project, and as superintendents, we all know this. You never know where you're going to be until you're there. That's kind of the old saying that I've heard my entire career, and that's kind of what it's been like. Hey, 4 months out from finishing a project, your leadership comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to put you at this project. I'm going to put you here. I'm going to put you there. But then when the time comes, it's like, well, shoot, the owners, they want to start a month early.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hey, we got drawings a month early, so let's go a month early. Let's get it going.
Yep.
But at the same time, then it's like, well, wait a minute. Now that superintendent who I told was going to be there is now still in another project. So what are we going to do from the owner's side? Who are we going to put there?
Yep.
And
so then
that kind of
they got to go with plan B, C, D, E, F, G. So, it.
Yeah. And,
everything's so fluid. It changes constantly. It's hard to do, but if you can somehow, have a plan in place where you can give that field, whoever's going to be your super, enough time to really put a good plan together. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, which, Tom is bringing up the owner side of things, and the owner architect deal. I mean, that right there. I mean, so owners are, wanting to start, and they're pushing on these architects to, shit out drawings as quick as they can, so they can start getting permitted. I mean, that's not helping anything. Can't. Whenever you can't really plan for anything, whenever you're going through trying to figure out what the heck, got missed because, they had to speed through these dang drawings.
Or, they didn't have enough money at the beginning to go do proper investigation when you're doing for example, like a remodel.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, you go do a remodel of a building and they're like, yeah, well, I spent the amount of time I could out there to do my due diligence, but it wasn't enough time. But we ran out of man hours to go do our due diligence to build the drawings.
Yeah.
And then you're in a situation where you rip out ceilings and it's like, holy crap. Like none of this was on the drawings. Like, What do we do? How do we fix it? And then you're delayed again because you're trying to go back to the drawings and get them fixed. And now the architect or the engineer's under fire because they don't have the proper planning that they were having time to do.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of going back to what we were talking about right before the show, let's say the architect says, hey, and the engineer, they're like, hey, the drawings are going to be done here. We start the project on this time. And then they end up, for whatever reason, they had extra manpower and they were able to get those drawings out to you sooner. Now the owner's like, let's go. Let's start.
Yeah.
But your main component in that whole situation are your procurement items.
Oh, yeah.
And as we all know in the industry right now, you never know what it could be. I mean, you could have a rooftop unit. Those can be, 40 to 50 weeks out sometimes.
I mean, and depending how big they are, it could be over a year.
You get generators. You get all sorts of other stuff like that, to where that month in time where you're starting the job early, well, now you're going to be finished up to a point in the project. And it's like, well, we're just all going to be sitting here waiting on this piece of equipment to show up.
Because you can't go any further.
Because you can't go any further. So, as a whole, how do you fix that?
Well,
what do you do?
You could have one of those tough conversations with your owner and say, hey, it doesn't make sense for us to start because once we get here, you're going to be paying us to sit on our ass for weeks until it gets here.
And that comes to good planning. And if you have time to have good planning and have time to have a decent schedule put out there, then a lot of those issues and a lot of those problems can be solved and resolved by talking about it.
Yeah.
By just getting it out there and not just being the yes man and saying, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Having those conversations, building the relationship with your owner group, with your architect group to, help everybody understand, build that team up, make it a team. Don't just make it a, transactional relationship. Like build that relationship so that everybody trusts each other and that everybody understands, we all have some kind of stake in this project. So Like, we all want it to be successful. So have that conversation and help each other understand what needs to happen.
So let me put another question out there for you. What if you go to the owner and you're talking to him or her, whoever it may be, and you're saying, hey, I know that we got these in early. I know you want to start early, but our switchgear is 40 weeks out, and our schedule is 40 weeks. So now you're going to be waiting on that switchgear. By the time you get to that point, you're not gaining any point in the schedule. You're not making it any faster. You're spending more money on, labor, on GCs and stuff like that. But what if the owner come back to you and says, hey, what if that procurement is wrong? What if that procurement actually comes in early? What if that switchgear gets here early? What do you say to that?
Would that come back to I'd rather have it and not need it, and need it and not have it?
Yeah.
What?
But then how do you change?
That's where you talk to them about, okay, talk to them with what they really understand. Like, okay, if I get it a little bit earlier than what it says, this is the money. And if we don't get it when we really need it, here's what money's that is. Now take your pick on which one you want.
Yeah. So either you're sitting around or you're having your switchgear wait around on you.
Yep.
So, at the end of the day, the project's going to get done, right?
No.
So, at the end of the day, if something's coming in early, like on our end, if something came in early, we would want to put it in earlier than what we could too. Like if the switchgear showed up early, we would kind of change things around to make it to where we can get that switchgear in early if we were ready for it.
Yeah. No, for me,
but it's just one of those really tough dynamics and tough questions to really ask and talk about.
Yeah, no, but I think it comes down to talk. You need to also talk their language.
Put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah, put yourself in their shoes. Empathy is a hell of a drug. Like
what?
Yeah, empathy.
It's a drug?
No,
empathy.
It's just
a new drug I don't know about.
It's just oh yeah, man. You don't. Yeah, you take it and then you can feel what other people feel. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard about it? No. So
no.
So yeah, like just put yourself in their shoes. Like what would they be feeling in this situation, and really help understand or help them. That way you can help them understand like why this needs to happen and really understand what they might be going through because of it.
Yeah. Like you just said, empathy is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
But if you understand, and going back to what you're saying about empathy, but it's understanding the why.
Yes.
Understanding the why of what decision or what's going on behind the scenes that you don't know about that's helping making their decision to wanting to pull in the schedule or to start early or to do whatever it may be. But what is the why? Like, ask that question.
Yes.
It's the same on our end. We got to explain our why of why we want to either we're late on the schedule or, why we feel that we shouldn't start early. Like, we got to explain our why so they understand. So we got to ask the questions to understand their why.
Yeah.
That's another way to think about it too.
And go through all the motions of like, look, this is all stuff that we can do leading up to this point. Like, putting in moisture resistant sheetrock and everything because you're not dried in or, whatever. But, just go through all that and help them understand like this can help, but it's like a lot of times it's still not that. It's not the full answer. You're still going to be waiting on a critical piece of equipment.
Yeah. you're still going to be sitting there waiting on it at some point in the project, and you're going to be at a standstill.
Yep.
So I guess the whole point of this is just really just be open, be vulnerable, talk about it, explain the why, and don't just accept it just to accept it. You know?
Yeah.
Be able to stand up and set those boundaries.
Yeah. And then, and just, and going from there, man, it really trickles down to, it trickles down to us. And then once it gets, and then past us, it's going to trickle down to trade partners too, changing up these starting times, we haven't had time to properly plan, and then our trade partners haven't had time to properly plan. So we're just going to be getting whoever. And I could ask any freaking superintendent out there, when was the last time like one of your trade partners came out onto the job site, ready to go, knew the drawings, and you didn't have to print anything out for them? They've been studying for like the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
No answer to that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even tell you, to be honest with you. Most of the time they show up and they're looking at the drawings for the first time. They're standing there looking at you, asking you questions, either with their iPad or with the printed offset, going, hey, what are we doing? What does it look like? You tell me. What are we doing here? It's like, okay, well, let's, this is what I know. This is what I've been looking at the drawings and how I've been looking at them. But, your trade partner is the expert at their trade. Yeah. I only know so much about the trade because I don't do it day in and day out. So I can give them the information that I have. And sometimes it could be right and sometimes it could be wrong.
Yeah.
If I'm giving that trade partner the information, so then you run into that issue too, until that person, that foreman or that superintendent who's there from your trade partner is actually understanding and knowing the drawings, which is going to take time because some of these projects are pretty intense and they got a lot of cool things in them because these architects are designing and pushing the boundaries and doing stuff that's never been done before, which is really cool and it's cool to be a part of, to build it, but not giving us or the trade partners enough time to look at the drawings and understand them and actually fully study them is difficult.
Yeah, and that comes back to our planning, because if that's happening, we obviously have had zero time to put together pre-install meetings, anything, and get them in there and do page turns.
Pre-install meetings as you are installing them.
Yeah,
done that before.
Yep. I mean, it's a domino effect. It just slowly works its way down.
Yeah. You just got to keep moving and keep doing it. But I mean, end all be all, it's a whole industry problem. It's not just a isolated superintendent GC problem. It's not just a trade partner problem. It's not an owner, not an architect, not an engineer problem. It's a industry-wide problem that will take years and years and years to resolve.
But we got to start somewhere.
Start talking about it and start asking. Yeah, we're not going to solve the problem in the world. We're just two little guys on a podcast.
It would be a little piece of pie. Just a little piece of pie. Little bitty piece of the pie.
But I mean, it also just takes baby steps too. And this is one of the little bitty baby steps. Just getting out there talking about it.
Yep.
So if y'all have a problem or have had this or seen it, y'all, as in the people who are listening,
comment. Look off screen whenever you're talking.
Sorry. You look off screen. Remember. Okay. So maybe if I go off screen.
No, don't go off
screen. If you guys want to. Is that
bad content.
Can you hear me if I do that?
Bad content. Get back in.
We're really good at this.
Get back into the frame.
Okay. I'm back here now. So I'll look off screen. But if you guys have, y'all seen it, y'all had a problem like that, comment, reach out to us, comment on the website, send us something. We can talk about it on the show. We can discuss it. We can bring you on the show.
We can bring you on the show
if you want to.
Absolutely.
You can come hang out at my office.
We've got
you can come hang out at Seth's office. or you can do it remote.
We can do it all remote.
But you don't
because
want people in your
we
office?
do what?
Do you don't want people in your office with you?
I mean, I'll take them.
That was not a warming invite for the people if they want to come out.
I just don't know how much longer I'm going to have. I'm going to have a quote unquote office, which is I'm at our warehouse.
Well, yeah, because your next job is 50 miles from the warehouse. You know what?
Hopefully.
We might have another joint venture like we did in San Diego here soon. If you start that job in Fort Worth, that's only like 10 minutes from my house. We can do it in my garage.
Well, heck yeah. Do a
I gotta
garage
clean the
podcast
garage first. Yeah, we can do garage podcast, or I can put up Christmas lights and we can do podcasts in front of the Christmas lights in front of my house.
You need to get done out there first.
Yeah. Well, my wife told me I needed to go full Clark Griswold this year.
On Christmas lights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all over the house.
Okay.
No rhyme or reason. Just put them up. Just have fun.
Okay.
So we're going full.
And then I'll bring
Clark
my RV
Griswold
and park it out in front of your house. If we're gonna go, if we're gonna go full, if we're gonna go full Christmas vacation, you know,
let's do it. Now I got to do it.
Now we got. So we're recreating Christmas Vacation.
I gotta stop promising things on these podcasts when I get excited.
Shitter's full.
Well, we also do have some. I'm going to tease for the not next podcast. Actually, it is the next podcast.
It will be the next episode after this one.
Unless we do a part 3 in between the next one.
We are not doing a part 3.
Okay, so teasing for the next one. We actually do have a person who wanted to be on the podcast.
Right.
So we will have a special guest.
That's the biggest surprise.
I know. Did somebody actually wanted to be friends with us? I mean, I'm honored that this person reached out so that they wanted to be on the podcast. So just teasing that a little bit for next time. But no part 3 on this one. I think we talked about it.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet at least. Let's
be a part 2.7.
We might have a part 3 when, let's say, we have a guest. And that's if that's something that they're passionate about, then it becomes a part 3.
There's a double tease there. Because they're part 3 with the guest.
Yeah, it'd be with the guest. So, no, but we
so
want.
You have plans for part 3.
I mean, it's way down the line, but I mean, right now.
We are planning, everybody out there, we are planning ahead.
Right now, the only plan for part 3 is that there would be at some point a part 3.
That is a good plan. We got it. So, but I mean, we've been going at this for 25 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say about a little cut up sesh? You know, keep things light.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. What's going on in your life?
There is something.
Okay.
That is going on in my life.
Okay.
There's a lot of things going on in my life, but
it goes for.
I did have a conversation yesterday with the superintendent. It was a very lengthy conversation with the superintendent. I called him about something else, and we got on another subject. But basically, the premise of the conversation was he was going through some stuff, and basically it was don't take life for granted. Granted. If I could speak this morning, don't take life for granted. Like, wake up every day, be happy that you're still alive, be happy that you're still there, be happy that you still got something to go do. Like, just remember that, because in our industry, especially being superintendents, our life expectancy isn't the best.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people in our industry that are injured, that are hurt, that are having health problems, stuff like that. But just remember that. Remember to just take life for granted.
Don't take life.
Take life for granted.
No, don't take life for granted.
Take life for granted.
Yeah, don't take life.
Take life. See, dyslexia strikes again. But
it's okay.
Excuse me. Just enjoy life. Do what you do. Don't get so stressed out about work. It's still going to be there. Like, don't let other people pile stress on top of you just because.
Main point
what we do is hard.
Main point being, take care of yourself.
Yes, that's what I was getting to.
Mentally,
make sure you go to the doctor.
Mentally and physically.
Yes, take those mental health days. And this is something I was talking to my wife about. Mental health days. So we're talking about this with my wife the other day, and I was talking to another superintendent. He didn't want to take time off because he was afraid everybody was going to be mad at him. But he wanted to go spend time with his grandson. And I'm like, nobody's going to be mad at you for wanting to go spend time with your grandson. Like, go do it. And my wife was talking about how, she had taken some days off this year for mental health and stuff like that. And I was like, well, construction industry's not there yet, but it's getting there to where you can take time off for mental health. If you're having a tough time, you need to go out and clear your mind. Go fucking do it.
Yeah.
Take the time off. Go do it. You don't have to go see a doctor to have a doctor's note for mental health day. You know yourself better than everybody else. Just go fucking do it.
Yep. Take care of yourself. There's team's going to be better off with you at, full strength.
Exactly.
And not fighting demons. So
or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Like
maybe it's the moon phase.
Maybe it's the moon phase. It's the weather.
It's the weather.
Getting cold out.
Who knows what it could be? Just fucking
cold
do
out.
it.
Those folks, including me, with bad joints. You know what I'm talking about.
It's like 55 degrees outside. It's not cold.
Man, we had some tornado watches every day.
I take that back. It is 47 degrees outside.
And in Texas.
People in Colorado are like, God damn, it's been snowing for 2 weeks.
Right. No, but with the tornado watches and everything and the barometric pressures and everything of the atmosphere because of it and everything, so if you didn't know, that promotes good one. It promotes
could you hear?
Yeah, you weren't muted.
Damn. I thought I was muted. I had to blow my nose.
No.
Sorry, guys. We're all. I mean, there you go. That's what you guys get.
It's not getting edited out.
I had a little snot in my nose. I had to blow it because of all this weather change.
Well, with the pressures like that, if y'all did not know, it does promote inflammation. So whenever you're having crazy weather changes like this, especially like drastic overnight stuff, go ahead and take those preventatives that you got. Go take you a Advil or whatever to help with your inflammation.
Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor.
But could be.
Hey, Advil.
But yeah, just going back to it, just take the fucking time off. Like, the job's still going to be there. If you're playing properly enough, like, your phone won't be ringing all the time. Or if it is, you can call and you can, people can call you. You can direct them. You got a good enough team out there in the field to help you out. Yeah. So don't feel the pressure all the time that you got to be there.
The job is not going to blow up. It's not going to blow up while you're gone.
Or if you die, they'll replace you the next day. So live long and prosper. How do you do that? Oh, like that. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to do the Star Trek sign.
I'm not a Trekkie.
Figure it out.
I'm not a Trekkie.
You're a Star Wars guy? Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have Star Wars tattoos.
I'm a Star Wars guy. So anyways, with that being said,
no part 3.
On the next episode of Build the Culture.